The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices. The views and opinions expressed by host and guests are their own, and their appearance on the show does not imply any endorsement or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.
But I guess it was an event because a local rapper was there, or a Milwaukee rapper or something like that. I don't know. I'm 52, so I sit in my house, and it was Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. So, but it was interesting. It was interesting. So I drove her this morning, and we were supposed to get up at 6, and she woke up and she was like, I gotta go and check my eyes or look at my eyes. And I was like, okay. And I'm waiting. I finally realized I was watching TikToks and some other stuff, and then I realized that it was a little late. I was like, Jade, I thought you said you were checking your eyes. She's like, I was looking at my eyelids. So she went back to sleep. She closed her eyes to look at her eyelids.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice. Today we're trying to really, when we cater to this, the audience that we have, we really are trying to make sure that we give you what you want to hear, not just all the time what we think you should hear. So again, go to the website, WisconsinVoices.org, scroll down a little bit, and you will see a landing page that says amplify your voice. With that, we will be asking for two things on there: any topics that you want to hear us talk about, and the second thing is any questions you want to ask people who are on the ballot. We are going to know by, I think, around June 4th or 5th or something like that, who's actually on the ballot for the state races, the Senate race, DA. Let me see what else is there. There's a couple of races that are partisan on the county, I think, like county treasurer and another one. But we want to know what you want to ask them, what information do you want to give them. So with that being said, have a lot of wonderful things to talk about today. But Brian had an interesting point today, and that is, where do you hit up to go in Milwaukee? Now, Brian, you seem to know where everything is and everybody is and what you do.
All the spots. Sometimes I find out about stuff right after, like all the comedy shows they had the other week. I was kind of disappointed. I missed a few people.
That is the point. Where are they advertising these comedy shows at?
Most of the time I see stuff on like Instagram or Facebook. But, for the most part, some of the news stations are really good at tapping into what's going on in Milwaukee.
And if you don't watch TV, I have not watched regular TV in months. I mean, I look at websites that I do. I might watch the news, but I'm talking about, other than that, I don't see anything. And these are reason why we don't go to some of these venues aren't full, because we don't know about them. Like I do, like Gary Owens. I just found out he was here 2 weeks ago, but I was driving back from Madison and I saw, he was here last week. I was like, oh man, what else is there to do for young people? I was watching, there's a lot of stuff that I get to know about because I have that 18 to 21 year old kids that are around. I shouldn't call them kids, young adults that are around. But it's not something that I want to go to. I'm like, babies, go and have a good time. Right. I'm not trying to sit in there. But this is, especially with it's getting hot. It's, a nice little 70 some degrees out right now.
Not
People
the
are going to
old
want to
school.
do something. I seen the old school cars. I know I seen a
I've just seen
couple
a
of
couple riding past. Now, that's why I'm a big car person, so it's hard for me not to like look at traffic because I see different variations of cars and models and stuff. I just be looking at other things, of course, as well. So
When I moved here in January, y'all kept telling me, wait till the summer, wait till the weather gets warmer. It's really going to change. And this, you could already start to see the city starting to come alive. After the winter time, as weather warms up, I see people outside my apartment building. I see people walking down the street, festivals starting up, beer gardens starting. So
get real serious.
It's that time of year for sure.
Time of year. We don't have those times of year. It's like Milwaukee pops off real quick and then dies real quick. It's like even at night,
3 months.
Right. But even at night, it's, you'll see somebody, especially during the Summerfest, all that stuff. You'll see everybody going everywhere. Soon as 2:30 hits, you might see somebody up until 3:00. Other than that, the city is dead.
Yeah, if you ain't going down to like outdoor, you got your own little parties and stuff. Then it's a wrap. Like you just got to know what to do after that time. At 2:30 is usually you ain't going out. If you're going into the public, you going home and doing your own.
But
thing.
that's when we should be at home sleeping. I'm sorry.
Anyone's parents ever say, hey, nothing good happens after midnight?
Yeah.
My mother said 11. I said,
Yeah.
what
I
you
was
doing
I was
after
always told
11?
nothing good ever happens after midnight. So.
That's when the party. No, just kidding.
Right.
Children, parents, do you know where your children are?
Right.
They used to come on right at 11 o'clock.
Right. When it mattered.
When it does matter. This we're going to be starting a whole series again with voting and making sure people vote. I know we keep pushing this and keep pushing it, but I had a conversation with Brother Meach yesterday, and he kind of had a valid point a little bit when he was talking about we are a very big and influential voting bloc. But what happens is if we don't have a reason to vote or we haven't shown a reason to vote, we will not go vote. And I'm generalizing, so please, everybody, please, no one call and say, you generalizing. I vote every election. I know there are some people who vote every election. I vote every election, but generally it goes up, it goes down, it goes up or down, depending on what. Now, you remember that year where people thought that referendum question about marijuana and legalizing marijuana? Oh, did people come out? They just went to vote for that. It wasn't binding, but it was something that people wanted to vote on.
Mm-hmm. Had a lot of people contacting me and telling me that that was the one of the first big voting events I did with Wisconsin Voices was when that was on the referendum, and a lot of people were going to vote because they thought it was something else.
They thought it was going to be something that it was going to be. It was non-binding.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, whatever, you can get whatever information. But on the side note is, what do people want to? We always, people that do the work that I do, we try to guess on what would make you go out, what would make you turn up to vote, and I really need to know what is going to make people vote. We hear the same people that call into the show and they give their opinion, but I really want to have a discussion, and it may not be today, but it might be through email, it might be, through comments that you guys give, but what would make you go out and vote? Have we ever, we've asked that question. Does anybody really answer the question? What makes people vote?
You think if they got more involved with going to WisconsinVoices.org and signing up for a Civic 101 class, I think, more people understanding what's going on, especially the younger groups and the people that are really not tapped into politics. A lot of people just avoid politics because they just don't want to understand it. They don't really care about it. We hear the same thing all the time, but I think education, again, doing more classes, going to more civic classes, through WisconsinVoices.org or do anybody else, would be a good way of, feeling like you're more involved and understanding what's going on politically in your city and your state, and then of course in the nation federally when it comes to voting.
Um, it's so much work to be done. But we have all these organizations that are giving information. They're fighting for healthcare. They're fighting for reentry. They're fighting for mass incarceration, things to that nature. But why aren't we getting the people voting? Is it our elected officials who are not like getting there and talking to people? I'm an elected, so I could be guilty of this. And I try to do I have a smaller district, but I do try to do once a year, at least one town hall. But should I be doing more? My town hall is usually around budget, budget time, telling them how does it affect my district? How does it affect the city? I usually have the mayor and the city administrator come in. The last time I had D.A. Chisholm because we were talking about the crime that came in. So I asked it was the last time it was one of his representatives. The time before that, it was himself. I had our state rep, which was Darren Madison at the time. And then our Senator Taylor came in also to talk about state and local information. State Senate information. And then Darren Madison was talking about the information you can get from the assembly. Do we need more of those? What do we need? I keep asking this question and nobody wants to answer the question. We see the people knocking on doors and we don't want to answer the door to hear what they have to say. But I don't know, are we supposed to be knocking the doors? I had a discussion with another leader in an organization and he was like, door knocking doesn't work anymore. We need to do social media. But is everybody on social media? Do they even look at the ads? How long do they, everybody is on social media or has something to do with social media or Facebook, but do they actually read the ads or do they skip over or they pay? I know I pay not to have ads on my YouTube.
Oh, you do?
I pay for that. It is worth to buy, I think it's $10 or $12 or whatever it is not to have the ads because I don't want them.
But there's also, I think that there's some responsibility on the voters' end as well to go out there and seek that information. If there's an issue that strikes to your heart, say it's reentry, going out there and finding out who supports what I believe in, who more identifies with me as a politician or what policies reflect my values the most. That I think there's a little bit of responsibility that goes back to the voters as well to be informed. It takes work.
But it takes work, but when you don't know where to start.
Right.
I guess that's my other point. I've been really I've been doing this for a little bit and I've been trying to figure out how do we get people to vote? And sometimes I'm at a loss because everything we try, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I really wish people would start asking that question. 414-444-5250. Call us and tell us what your ideas are, what you think. What does it matter? We will be, Juneteenth is coming up. I'm so excited. If y'all want to come march with Juneteenth and the parade with us, just let us know. Wisconsin Voices will be there. But we will be assisting people to register to vote. So I'm telling y'all right now, we're going to have a crew out there assisting people to register to vote. That is the perfect time to do your civic duty. You're free. Now let's vote. I think that's our theme for Juneteenth. You free now? Let's vote.
Get in there.
I don't know. It's just so we will be assisting people to register to vote. We have an app that can help with that assistance. We'll have iPads out there for you to register yourself. And if you need some help, we will be more than willing to help you get through that process. I don't know what you think. What y'all think?
Look, I'm with it. Any little step that we can take, all the little plans, and I'm even excited to create some impromptu events that's going to get people engaged. So, hey, look, whatever it is, we are for the people over here at Wisconsin Voices. Check us out, wisconsinvoices.org as well. And if you need to sign up for a civic class, go ahead, check us out, Civics 101, Wisconsin Voices, Tamika Vukovic.
And then where's Tamika Vukovic? You should add my name in there. Y'all supposed to be learning these things.
Tamika Vukovic, Joe Dre.
There is so much that is, we're going to be like just hit with so much political stuff. But one of the things that people like, I don't want to get into politics. Let's separate what politics is versus policy versus what you need or desire. People are like, oh, I don't care. All these politicians are this, that, or other, or it's not about Democrat, Republican. It's not about, Green Party or independent or whatever. It's about issues. And when you look at it and see what is the best for you, or if you can get a group of people together. I know I was talking to one individual who wanted to work on a resolution. They are doing the resolution and they've gotten a bunch of people together, and it may go through because they have enough people talking, opening their mouths and saying stuff. This is more so your responsibility for me than anything else, is just trying to be responsible. We are going to do everything we can over this time because there's a lot of people coming into the city. Wisconsin is definitely a hot spot for this election. It's a make or break state at times.
The polls right now, at least for presidential, I know the latest poll out of Wisconsin, I mean, it's neck and neck. It is a dead heat. So yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dead heat. I would love to find out why it's a dead heat.
It's definitely the battleground territory right now. So
right.
We're going to see a lot of influx from outside the state, from the national level, from PACs, are going to be flooding Wisconsin for sure.
And with the DNC is in Chicago, which is only an hour and a half away. The RNC here, right in Milwaukee, those two conventions, those two things are going to be huge. Mm-hmm. You can't get away from politics this season right now. So it is our best bet to make sure that we are paying attention. What is that? I was trying to remember what my grandmother used to say. It's something into the effect that if you don't know your history, you'll fall for anything.
Or you're doomed to repeat it.
Or you're doomed to repeat it. Those are some things that when was the best time in your adulthood that you really liked what was going on, you liked the economy, money was coming in, you felt a little bit better. Obviously, we're always going to have something to complain about or something to improve on. I shouldn't use the word complain, but something to improve on. But it is something, we'll be back to finish talking about that. But I do want to say welcome back, Big J.
Man, I'm glad to be back, Wisconsin Voices.
Did you miss us?
I missed y'all.
We was wondering where you.
Oh yeah, you did miss him the other week. Last Friday.
Where's he at?
Yeah,
but we glad you back.
I'm
glad you got a little rest. You took a little vacation.
Yeah.
Had to, do your thing. But now you back on the grind.
Catch Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org. Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
What matters in the city, what is there to do in the city, and people are like, well, you just be jumping all over the place. But the thing is, this is our city. This is what we have to, how do we make this a great place? Have you ever noticed so many of our kids, they go away to school and then they don't want to come back. Or the ones that do come back, they complain and all the way back. I got to live here. Man, as soon as I can get a chance, I'm leaving. Most people, all I hear is, I'm moving to Texas.
To make other cities and towns great. That's one thing I always, I always battle with that sometimes. But, I always understand everybody can't make it in Milwaukee or they get opportunities to go other places. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm always seeing people, a lot of people quietly slide back in Milwaukee too, though. So
they do slide back in after they leave.
Yeah, all that talking about, I'm good here and I'm good there. And you get down there and you see it's real when your core is here. And I'll take, my little sister, my friends, family, everybody has left the city. But when it comes to leaving here, don't knock Milwaukee. You got your hustle, your whatever. Maybe you didn't get what you needed here. You got it in another state. But regardless, your life started here, and this is where you got your character and a lot of personality traits that you took that were good or bad. You got them from Milwaukee. So, don't knock the city when you leave it. Make it better when you come back, or just don't say nothing. Just leave. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of cities that have issues, but you don't gotta, you ain't gotta knock it from your point of view, because your Milwaukee may be different from the next person's Milwaukee.
I have nothing bad to say about my former hometown.
Yeah,
I have nothing but good things to say about.
Oh, we talk about you former good time. That's what we do.
I don't even know.
I was a former councilman there in my hometown, but the 4 months that I've been in Milwaukee, I absolutely love it. I think it's a great city. It offers so much. Whether you're talking about the food scene, the nightlife scene.
It's a hidden gem for real if you really know how to navigate.
If you're a family person, you're looking to raise a family, there's all kinds of great neighborhoods. I mean, just little nooks and corners. We talk about Brady Street a lot. Just so many great places in Milwaukee, and I'm still exploring and discovering all those places.
Yeah, so it's a lot of places I don't even really go to, but you got to appreciate it. Even just going over to Bayview the other week and just grabbing me some Indian food and going over there, just seeing everybody out, hanging out. And I really wasn't in the mood to kick it. I was just hungry, but just seeing the interactions with folks and the diversity and everybody having a good time. And, it makes you feel good when you go in, you get great service from, the bar, the tavern, the lounge, all the way to the restaurant and the smaller places in between. So, people would come here, they say they have a good time. I really haven't had, I've toured and showed a lot of people around Milwaukee, to say the least, and they've had a good time.
Smiling when he's saying it. We won't say that. But let's talk about. We go back again to the politics of it all, and it's not politics as in Democrat, Republican. It's like when these kids come or these young adults come back, they graduate. Where are the opportunities for them?
Yeah.
I see so many who have like these degrees and they're ready to work and can't find anything here and have to move.
Yeah.
If they want to work in their field. So I don't know how to navigate this. It's like sometimes I think, I know all the answers, then I know none of the answers. And then I ask like some really important and smart people that are smarter than me, and they're like, this is the answer, and then they'd be like, but I don't really know. We do all these surveys, and we do all these. I've seen so many where they put these committees together, but that is just a joke. They're not really working committees. They meet once a quarter. They meet once a month. If you really gonna work and tap, you're gonna need to meet more than once a month to even as you're gathering information, bringing it to the table, making sure that or who are you asking? What are you asking? The whole what, where, when, why.
You got to be plugged in.
Yeah, you have to be plugged in, and you can't be like once a quarter, once a month. And because think about it, if a meeting is 2 hours long and you meet once a month, first thing you're gonna do is say, "Hey, how y'all doing?" Catch up with everybody. So that's 5 to 10 minutes of that. Then going back over what you did previously at the previous meeting, so you can all remember what was going on. Then there's about half hour, 45 minutes, depending on if the meeting is an hour or two, of, okay, what do you think? And everybody's giving their opinion, but at the end of it, well, next steps. They're going to try to do next steps, but there's always something missing before you get to the next steps.
Yeah.
And then your meeting's over. You probably accomplished 1 out of 6 things you should have accomplished. And then your next meeting is in the next month, and then you start all over again. One of my pet peeves, and I try, and maybe this is my thing, meetings to have meetings. I'd rather cancel a meeting.
Could this be done in an email?
Yeah.
That's a question that you should ask before you schedule.
Or here's the thing. I hate email too, but the thing is, when you're going to have a meeting, be prepared, like, to know what you're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah.
If this is the same group of people, I don't need to know who everybody is over again. If one person is new, hey, we got a new person, introduce yourself. And then guess what? The new person can make sure that as we go through and people talk, hey, while we're going through this, if for the new person, introduce yourself. We got 5 people who are here regularly, 1 new person. So that 6th person, please tell you who you are. And as we go and discuss things, they'll introduce themselves. The other thing that everybody really likes, but I can't stand, is icebreakers.
I was about to say icebreakers.
I can't stand
Energizers.
Yeah. All right. All right.
That's the
y'all like that?
Energizers.
Y'all like the icebreakers or energizers? Joe, you like them?
No.
No.
That's just me. That's just me.
And I particularly don't like the Energizers even more. That's actually not just like participating or doing an icebreaker. That's getting up out of your seat and doing a group.
All right, guys, we're going to go in the corner. We got 3 teams over here, 3 teams over here. We're going to build a fort.
That's about what it is.
So, but we're off topic. Let's see what the caller has to say. Caller, you are on the air with Be a Voice.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Assalamu alaikum to you all. I was just listening just momentarily, and I heard the young lady speaking about access and opportunity, I think, after accomplishing this or that regarding education. And I just wanted to second that notion because that is an actual fact. And here in Milwaukee is it's like ridiculously exclusive. And I think that, and when I say exclusive,
I was going to ask, can you just maybe elaborate a little bit on what you mean by that?
Found right. Exclusive. The exclusivity that exists in this city is due to the lack of access and the disenfranchisement of those people who are of darker hue. And if you do not have the mentality or the ability to be exceedingly accommodating or compromising, then you are probably going to be maybe excommunicated, or there's going to be a lot of difficulty and impediments put before you. And I'm saying that to say this. I think that what we should champion, especially to our young people, entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur. That's what I think that we should drill into our young people's minds. And I know that there are a lot of people who would dissuade and discourage or attempt to dissuade and discourage our young people to even conceptualize that. And that has been a big problem. When I was a young child, a little dude, a little guy, when my mother and father walked me down the street around the corner, when we went to my grandmother's house, there were many, many Black entrepreneurs. And I'm not talking about our brothers and sisters or who are people who are doing the pharmaceutical things or the street pharmaceuticals, I should say. Not that. I'm talking about legitimate people who came from where they came from and they strive and they cut through and they fought for it and they established reality for themselves. And that ideal or that concept of entrepreneurship for us as a people has in mind, from what I can see with regards to my observation of things, and as I become an adult and I'm overgrown, that our people aren't even interested in even attempting to do those things. Everything in our community, when we look around us, when I go to the corner store, grocery stores, I see people who don't look like me. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we go to others to fulfill the needs that we can fulfill for ourselves. We seek outside of ourselves everything that we have the capacity to produce and to accommodate ourselves.
And
you don't even, man.
Go ahead.
It just doesn't seem as if, and especially as I've grown, that we are so caught up in the romanticized idea of what the American dream. When the American dream has been a nightmare for us as a people. And there are ebbs and flows, and there are maybe sparks in the dark, or there are some crabs who have hit the barrel. But for the most part, our people are consumed with that idea of the crab in the barrel. If I can't get out of this barrel, there's no way I'm going to let you get out of the barrel. And then those who do escape the barrel, they are revered, idolized, but they do not contribute to our forward progression. So ultimately, what I'm saying is this: entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, for us as a people, has to be the clarion call for us to break the ties that bind us. Everything.
What the caller just said, he has some real good validity to some of the stuff. I lived off of Atkinson over on 21st Street when I was growing up, and I think our neighbor down the street, her dad owned a bar, but he ran it. It was a nice little bar he ran for years. My aunt owned what was it called? A corner store that was on like 9th and Ring or close to that area. We had a couple of different people in our family who owned like either like a gas station or something like that. So I believe he does have a point that people don't have the opportunities to open up their businesses, and everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, and I get that. I think that is a key too, but we don't like support some of the people. I had I had somebody look at one of the properties my parents own, and the tenant said, "Who is this man out here?" Now, I don't know, and this really bugged me because the tenant thought that this African American man could not possibly know what he was doing when it came to, fixing something. And it just baffled my mind. It was a black tenant. And that's the thing. It was a black tenant, and he saw a black man who was, rightly looking at the property, because I sent him over there to do it. And they said, I gave you a name of somebody. And I said, and it was a white carpenter, which is fine. I'm going to check them all out, to see who can give me the best deal. Mm-hmm. But why was it that they didn't think this African American could have done the job properly.
Do the work.
He finna talk.
I gotta chime in on this one. 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, it's the stereotype of our own. Like we see somebody of the same color, especially in that magnitude, and we're thinking, why is he here? You know, is he trying to do something? Is he gonna break in? Is he gonna steal from me? And I know that to be true because I've had some people that have came into my house to do some work, and I looked at them like, okay, man, let me make sure everything is secure. But I really started doing it with everybody, but it was really so much for my own people.
Right.
And that's just being honest, because it's like, you know, it's a stereotype.
And that is, some of this is trust factor, because sometimes our people be doing shady stuff, but that's only a small portion of the population. And I think as we grow as a people, like I hear the caller who just spoke, he calls a couple of times and you know, a couple times every couple of weeks, and he says something kind of profound, and then, but we have to use what's factual, and what's factual is the businesses that are in the city. The gas stations used to be owned by Black and brown people in their neighborhoods. The corner stores, the liquor stores. Now we have churches on every other corner. And that's fine, but where's the businesses? But it seems like they're the same businesses also. Where is the dog groomer? We have one, I know of at least one, maybe two Black veterinarians. Where are those people? Where are the like we know where roofers are, but we really don't know, do we have a central place? I know the African American Commerce usually has a list if you want to go and ask them who to go to or what to go to, or, you know, if you want a list of African American, like carpenter, painter, stuff like that. But where's that full list at? And do we trust it? That is one of the things that we have to build our own people to trust each other.
Yeah.
And to build the trust, we have to stop doing dirt within our own people. I have watched so many times where we go into I've seen it many times, and this is just me and my observation, where I've gone into a clothing store that is owned by Black people. And we go in there and we try to negotiate. Let me get that for $10. Let me get that. Can you give me $5 off? But I have never, not one time, seen anybody go into Mayfair and say, can I have this for $10 off? I mean, unless it was something ripped or there's a reason behind, but they're not going to take one piece of item and say, let me get this for 10. Let me get this for 5. You know, they don't do it. They have never done it. And if somebody can come and tell me that they walked into Macy's and said, hey, unless there was a sale or something like that, they are not, there's a regular sale, and you going up to the counter and say, you know what? This dress is $125. Can I get $10 off?
Break off the coupon. Like, oh, I got some right here. Beep.
No coupons, no nothing. I'm just saying, you just want to go up to them and say,
not happening.
Bargain.
Let me bargain. Let's bargain.
Yeah.
They don't do it.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to restaurants, and these are my opinions, not the views of Wisconsin Voices or anybody around, but I watch how we go to Black restaurants. We want to support the Black restaurants, but we don't tip. And with that, I was a waitress for a long time. And the first thing you see a bunch of black people come in, you're like, ah, man, I didn't finna get no tip.
You know what's funny? Tipping
Now
is
it's getting better.
Yeah, tipping's been a big conversation lately. I've been reading a lot about tipping and how people are not happy with the way tipping has been lately due to some of the ownership of these restaurants. And they've been saying that, they get up there and then the tipping doesn't add up to what is like when they add it, you big on money and percentages. So when they add up and see what the gratuity is or whatever the tip options are, they don't really equal out what they say. So they'll say it's like, 7%, but it actually be really like 12% when it comes to
But
it.
you have to watch it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I take a calculator. Most of these iPhones have a calculator.
Mhm.
I be calculating real quick. Let's take our call. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I heard you talking about black restaurants. Also, with black restaurants, you got to teach them how to answer the phone. Like when you call a restaurant, it's not what's up? Because it makes me not want to spend my money.
Okay,
So
can you repeat that, please?
when you call a black restaurant and they call and they say, what's up? They're very tacky and niggerish.
Oh, well,
Stop that.
Let's
Please stop it.
yeah, we want to.
And then also with Speed Queen, please stop laying over the counter and stop serving that beef jerky pork skin ribs you got at room temperature. Have a great day.
Thank you. He does make me laugh every time he calls because he just says so. Yeah. Yeah, with that one, we cross our fingers with that caller. We cross our fingers and hope he don't cuss. But they do have a point. But overall, so we want to support. But the other day, I wanted some soul food so bad. I wanted some like good soul food. Everything was closed at 6 on Friday. Yeah. It was not on Friday. It was on Thursday. Everything was closed by 5:30, 6 o'clock. I don't get off work until 5 o'clock. By the time I get home to think about what I want to eat, everything's closed.
That is true.
They closed on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They might be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's only open from 11 to 6.
Somebody
and
just dropped another post about that too, about Milwaukee restaurants. I could probably find it. It was long. It was just talking about the times and opening, and then you close at this time and all that. It's like, the consistency we have to show, because when you go to other cities and they show you how they operate when it comes to restaurants, I think some restaurant owners, and I ain't putting it on no restaurants, because we see the ones that got the motivation to get it when it comes to servicing and being like a strong black restaurant in the city. But then some maybe need to go model other restaurants. Maybe there needs to be like a restaurant mentorship program going on through Milwaukee that can show you how to build up and be consistent here in Milwaukee when it comes to that. Because like you, I'm a big fan of supporting. And I had this big, last week I was on this, I'm doing all black owned restaurants, and I did pretty good for the most part. I was trying to, and then I slipped up and went to a couple spots, but I just wanted to test. Sometimes you want to test out the service, but also, I like to see the quality, and I cook too. So I like to see if it's something I can do.
And let me tell you, some of these places are, oh my God, the food is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
But right when you get ready to call them, they don't take DoorDash. They don't take this. They only take cash. They don't do that. It's like so many rules and regulations. So let's start expressing to these restaurants what we want in a respectful way, saying, hey, this is what I would love. This would be great if you could provide that. Maybe they can't provide it at this time because they're too small or they haven't build their clientele up, and that is great. And we are here for you, and we're here for that to build. But we just want to make sure we do what we can. So we're gonna take. I think we have one more caller, and then we're gonna take a break. Caller, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is Annette.
Hello, Annette.
Yes. My concern with getting out the vote and everything would be under the healthcare situation. I am an citizen patient, and there has been a serious virus outside of our country.
Hold on. First, before you continue, can you turn your radio down?
Okay. Let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
You guys can hear it, huh?
Yep. Turn it. Take us off speaker and then turn your radio down, and then we'll be able to hear you clearly.
Found that.
Ah, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. My pharmacist said the same thing. Okay, they cannot receive anything, even if it's for me to go in for emergency care. No patients, no charge, etc. This is a serious issue. And even just to get medication. We are working on it. I'm just going to give you an update of what he said. We're working on it to try to get us help, whether they're elderly people or what have you, medications, etc. Tomorrow, I think that we have guests coming in every Tuesday on Keith's show. They'll give you an update too as well. But it is really hard. It's been over a week or so to try to help the patients, help us find out what is going on with this situation with Ascension Healthcare. This would be my call for an update on our systems and our grids. How safe is our United States system for healthcare? Wisconsin was targeted. It was a target. I believe that because you got the convention here, and it's easy for Donald Trump to try to win. This is my view and no one else's. And Russia's involved. This is me as a citizen. I'm saying it's not this radio station. This is me. And I really feel that we are unsafe as a nation of citizens. So if you feel the same way I do, ever there's a time that we need to get out and realize that this is critical, it is now. Because our lives are really at stake right now, our children's lives.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org. The three pillars of Wisconsin Voices are protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, and building community. Learn more about Wisconsin Voices and our partners at wisconsinvoices.org. Stay up to date on our community events page and get involved by visiting our donation page.
I need LaToya back. We miss her. She'll be back. She's celebrate graduation of her daughter, her baby girl.
Yes.
Congratulations. Double major, I think it was.
Whoa.
Yeah, she did that, finished up with after just having twins. So I do give her like
business. Come on.
Yeah, she was handling her business. We're gonna remember on Wisconsin Voices website, Wisconsin spelled out voices.org. There is a landing page that says amplify your voice. We really want to see what shows and topics you would like to hear about, what experts you want to hear. We're going to bring back our partners back again, and then we'll be starting to question or do interviews of the candidates that are coming back. There are a bunch of candidates who were on before that have decided to run for another seat. So there's a couple people they already just got in. Are they just, they're running? Some people are giving up their seats to run for other seats. This is going to be an interesting cycle. This is the first election with the new maps, and that's going to be interesting to see across the state. There is so much. Joe, we're putting together our policy agenda for 2024, 2025 as we speak, and even parts of 2026. Yep. Joe's been working hard on
looking ahead for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's what we, when they finish the vote in November, they get sworn in January. Then they're going to start committees. The budget's going to come back. We have to see what's going on. Who do we need to talk to? What in the budget affects Wisconsin? Milwaukee County?
And what are our partners in our community? What are their needs?
Right. What are their needs? But we have to know. We have to talk to them. We're trying to set up interviews with our partners, saying, "What do you?" I know there's an organization who's working on a bill or some kind of resolution when it comes to charging children as adults. 10-year-olds as adults, when we know for a fact we don't leave them. One of the things that I always say, you cannot leave a 10-year-old at home by themselves. CPS will come and grab your kids, or you gonna have an investigation but yet we're gonna charge a 10-year-old with a crime, and we can't even let them stay home by themselves, but we're gonna charge them as adult and have them go to juvie or prison or whatever it is at that age. We don't give, 18-year-old, we just barely give 18-year-olds the right to vote. We definitely don't allow them to drink. We can send them overseas or wherever in the Army, but we don't send 17, 16-year-olds in the Army. We barely let them drive. They got restrictions from 16 to 18. But yet we want them to understand the consequences of their action as an impulse at that age. Somebody who's 25, 26, 30, 40, I know what my consequences is. I know if I go and shoot somebody, I know that it's going to be my life. It's going to be this. It's a calculated thing. So if I did something like that, I know.
And opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices, but are those of the host and guests of this particular show, and their appearance on the program does not imply any endorsements or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.